Well, so today I'm in rainy Goa, as you can see, and we are here for a very important car. It's the MG M9. MG is launching this car through its new dealership network called the Select Network, and this car is the biggest, the longest, the widest MPV on sale in India. It's also what MG are claiming the best equipped MPV. So is this car really the one to go for? It's an EV. Officially, MG hasn't given us the range as yet, but we expect it to be around 500 kilometers, 450 or 500 kilometers. And of course, this car gets a very sleek and stylish silhouette. Now, MG is calling it a very minimalistic look. Do you think it's minimalistic? I think it is. It looks very cool. Very sleek lamps over here, very sleek design over here, and of course, very subtle chrome finishing on the face of the car. And of course, it gets a flat bonnet line. It gets a very flat bonnet like an SUV. So that means that visibility from inside is quite good. 19-inch wheels, which look really sharp. The side profile really is the one to look at because it's 5.3 meters in length, and this car has some solid road presence. The back end with that connected beam of light and those very angular and very sharply raked tail lamps also looks really cool. So is this car the one to go for? The real question is that, and the answer to that question is not on the outside but on the inside, especially in the second row of seats, because MG calls this the presidential limousine. My name is Ashish Masih. If you come to this channel for the first time, please like and subscribe. If you're not following me on Instagram, then please do follow me on Instagram as well. Now let's begin with this new product from JSW MG India. Well, so now I'm inside the cabin of the MG M9. It's a huge and massive MPV, and that's quite visible once you get inside the cabin, but it's not overwhelming. It's not an overwhelming experience inside this car, so it really soothes your senses. It's a car which will soothe your senses, and the reason for that is that you can see here the overall controls are very minimalistic. You only get AC controls over here in the touch panel. Everything on this car is controlled via this huge touchscreen over here. So if you come along with me and I'll tell you what the controls are about. The first control up here is for the seats, then there's one for the sunroof, then there's one for the panoramic sunroof, tailgate, as well as the lamps, the internal lamps of the car or the external lamps, and even the external lamps are controlled from here. So if you do this, the lamps will go on, and of course put them on auto mode. That's the best mode to put it on. There's also vehicle controls, which basically means again the interior lamps, the ambient lighting, the doors and the windows, the rear mirrors. Then there's of course the energy mode, which means that you can decide what kind of regeneration level you want from the braking. So that's also something which this car has to offer. And then of course the driving assistant features, because this car has ADAS level 2. So you get blind spot assist, collision avoidance assist, you also get speed control prompts, and of course intelligent adaptive cruise control and lane keep assist is also there. You also get other driver management systems. Now what does this mean? Basically there's a camera setup over here on the A pillar, a small camera, and that keeps a view on you. So in case you're drowsy or you're feeling disturbed, you're always on the phone, not paying attention, then this system will give you lots of warnings and ask you to stop and just relax for a while. You can of course switch them off as well, but it's better to keep them on in case your driver is driving, your chauffeur is driving. Then of course you can choose the different driving modes, and of course you get eco, sport and the normal mode. And of course the normal mode is the one where the WLTC range is the maximum. It's showing us around 413, and of course if you put it into sport mode, then it goes down to about 350 odd kilometers. So that's something which is there. MG officially hasn't given us any claim figures for the range, but I expect the range to be in excess of 450 kilometers, around 500 kilometers on this car, because it's a big and massive car. It's also got a big battery pack, so it should be around 450 or 500. But the WLTC, which is how globally they calculate the range, is showing around 414 on a full battery charge. And you can also see what the car is up to in terms of energy efficiency, in terms of the tire pressures, and a whole host of other paraphernalia. So really loaded with tech and features, but everything's over here. Now some people like this because for some people it's convenient. They don't have to get overwhelmed with all the buttons, and some people say that it's a little too confusing. So it depends on where you're coming from, but overall the cabin feels nice and plush. Very good materials used, and it is a plush car, so it has to feel good. You also get buttons over here for the rear electric doors. So you push this one, the right one opens up or closes, and you push this one, the left one opens up or closes. And of course a very plush interior. Twin spoke steering wheel like we now find a lot of Skoda cars, so it's very similar to that in design. Controls over here as well for the telephone and stuff, and of course over here for the adaptive cruise control, and the gear levers placed over here behind where usually your indicator stalk would be. Wireless charging, 7 airbags. Yes, that's true, 7 airbags on this car, curtain airbags and stuff. Huge box area where you can keep your odds and ends. Front cool seats, heated seats, all the options are available. Really, it's a classic car in terms of luxury, opulence, as well as comfort. The only thing I think that they can improve is that they could have given you a bigger screen over here for the infotainment, rather the overall gauges. They should have given you a bigger screen. It's a very small one, feels like a small tablet from maybe 10 years ago. But apart from that, only nitpicking that I'll do. Apart from that, it's fantastic to be inside this car. Anyways, guys, what do you think of the interiors? I think front end deserves 10 out of 10. Let's jump in the back seat and show you how good that really is. Well, so what is Budmo? Well, I'm sure by now all of you are aware that Budmo are the online expert when it comes to spare parts. And the best point is that they have the spare parts for all vehicles available in India. So even if your car is out of production now, maybe you have a large generation model, even then they have the spare part available. They have the entire catalog. And the best point is that they have the same spare part from a host of different component makers, which gives you great flexibility in the pricing overall. So check them out today. Check out the app. It's available both for iOS as well as Android devices. And also check out the website for the latest schemes as well as offers. Well, so I'm in the back row now, the second row, and this really is the place to be in. If you're buying an MG M9, then this is the place to be. You can be on the left seat or the right seat, doesn't matter. Now, how do you control the seats? You get a touch screen, yes, you get a small touch panel which has a plethora of functions to use. You can of course use it as an ottoman seat, and the seats actually move left and right as well, because there's space here for rear occupants. As you can see, footpad has come out, the seat has gone back, and it can also be slided left or right. And of course you can also take it all the way back and just go off to sleep, belt up, put on the blind over here, and just doze off on the long distance journey. If you're going from Delhi to Chandigarh, if you're going from Pune to Bombay, it's just fantastic place to be. Ultimate lap of luxury. That's the way I'll define this car's interior. It's the ultimate lap of luxury. Now, MG hasn't told us the pricing of this car as yet. It could be 70 lakhs, it could be 80 lakhs. But whatever the price is, it is quite justified, because these seats generally are very good in terms of the comfort. And you have lots of adjustments, lots of movements, and really you can sit here all day long without getting tired. If you're somebody who does a lot of travel on business class seats, then these seats will be good for you. And of course, if you want to impress any of your business partners, let's say you want to get sign a check of maybe 1 crore rupees, 2 crore rupees, and this is a car to do that in, because they will instantly be impressed with your luxury as well as your mehman nawazi, and they'll sign the check for you without any fuss whatsoever. Now, 10 out of 10 to the back seat of the MG M9. Let's jump in the Rasto and show you how good that really is. AC vents over here, AC controls, double and huge panoramic sunroof, and of course huge window as well. Well, so now I'm in the last row of the MG M9 seats. As you can see, headroom is more than sufficient, and these seats are generally quite good. 3 occupants can sit over here. The only thing is that the hip and knee angle isn't the best, but it's quite okay, because the generous cushioning on these seats mean that your bottom is well positioned and it's quite comfortable. You also get AC vents over here at the back. You also get your own charging point as well as some beverage holders. So even if kids sit here, because that's usually who sits over here, even if kids sit here, they'll be more than happy in these seats. And it's a flat floorboard, because remember, it's a car which is built on a skateboard platform. So it's a flat floorboard. Whoever's sitting at the back has plenty of place to stretch his feet. Nice and large windows, so you never feel claustrophobic as well. I'll give the last row of the M9 a good score of 9 out of 10. Well, so now I'm driving the MG M9. Now this is a huge MPV. It's well over 5.3 meters in length, and we're driving it on the outskirts of Goa. In fact, we're in Goa, but we're driving it on very empty roads right now. So we can't really give you a very good feedback on how it is to drive in the city. But to be honest, if you're driving this car, if you're owning this car rather, you will not be driving it yourself. You'll probably be giving it to your chauffeur to drive it. So all the hassles of driving a big car will be his. That said, the controls on this car are quite light. The steering wheel is light. Visibility all across is excellent. You get a huge windscreen up ahead. Bonnet line is visible. You get these mirrors over here between the A pillar and of course the doors. Huge windows on the side. ADAS features, blind spot assist, and really you also get this view from the rear camera. So this also is very good and gives you great visibility. So in terms of visibility, in terms of the controls, in terms of the overall driving experience, it is quite good. Doesn't really feel its girth of 5.2 meters, and it doesn't feel very heavy. Now you can of course choose different driving modes. There is sport mode, and in case you do need a very fast burst of acceleration, put it in sport mode and just push the pedal like this hard on the floor, and this car really does take off. Now they haven't given us any official figures for 0 to 100 as yet, but I think it should be around 6 seconds or maybe 6.5 seconds, not more than that, because this is a powerful car and it's got a big battery pack as well, so it should be quite good. The official range, MG still hasn't told us the official claim figures, but we do expect it to be in excess of around 500 kilometers, 450 or 500 kilometers, roughly around there. And knowing MG, what they claim, they usually come very close to delivering that, unlike some manufacturers which claim something and the real figures are around 20-30% lower. So MG is not like that. The actual figures that they claim and the ones that we ultimately get are pretty much close to each other. So that is something also that a lot of buyers will appreciate. What you'll also appreciate about this car is the ride comfort. Now the ride has to be good because it's got a very long wheelbase. It's quite good in terms of the overall absorbent factor. It's really the harshest of harsh crevices and maybe some bad rumble strips which might enter the cabin and just be felt, but they won't be uncomfortable. You won't feel uncomfortable at all, and you neither feel as if you've got a bad ride. So just some rumble strips might feel inside the cabin, but on the whole it's quite supple and quite pliant. As I said before, this isn't a car you'll be driving yourself. You'll probably be giving it to your chauffeur, so all the headaches, all the driving bits really are his problem, not yours. And this car really is meant for the back seat, the second row of seats, because this is ultimately a luxury car which is guised as an MPV. Anyways, let me stop this car now and give you a definitive summary report. Well, so overall, what's my verdict with the new MG M9? We don't know the prices just as yet, but that said, the comfort, the luxury, the opulence that this car has to offer is second to none. I've driven and sat inside a lot of other MPVs, but I think that this one is the best when it comes to pure luxury. It also is the best when it comes to pure road presence. It really is a very solid package on the outside, and of course, selling from MG's new Select network means that its overall buying as well as ownership experience will also be genuinely quite good. I'll give this car a very strong score of 95 out of 100. It's really got technology, it's got safety, it's got luxury, opulence as well as road presence, and deserves a strong score of 95 out of 100. Thanks guys for watching.